Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is 7 Little Johnstons. Season 17, Episode 6, Main Character at the Bachelorette Party.
I think we know who they're talking about as the main character. Amber's always the main character, isn't she?
Of every plotline.
Every single story on this show, it all ties back to Amber being the main character. Priority, and I think, that's clearly evident here, now more than ever.
So before we get into the episode from this week, we have to address some online drama that happened late last week between Liz and Anna.
Okay, yeah. So Liz this was an Access Hollywood interview. This was very lax. It was just like webcam conversation, Zoom, Skype thing that was going on here.
It was only like 12 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, really brief, very
Questions
quick.
about the season, and then the interviewer slipped in a question about her relationship with Anna.
And Anna was listening and watching because then she replied in the comments of that post.
Popped off.
Yeah, it was a big chunk of text here.
So basically, save yourself some time of watching the interview with Liz. She talks about wedding planning, the things she's excited about, things we're going to see this season. And then when she got to the question about Anna, she kind of gave us a canned response that we've already seen the family talk about, where she mentioned, my mom put it really well on the show that we are all free to film if we want to. And if we don't have to. And Anna's chosen not to film. And then she went into their relationship and how she's hoping that at some point in the future, maybe their paths will cross again. But right now, Anna is kind of doing her thing. And it doesn't sound like they've made any progress in repairing their relationship at all.
No, because this is the miraculous expectation in these types of family scenarios where Liz is like, oh, you know what it is? We're kind of two roads diverging and Anna's on her path and Liz is on her path. And then maybe somewhere down the road, those paths will reconvene yet again. And it's like, if you don't make an effort to make those paths align again, then they will never meet back up.
Yeah, and it was also giving, Anna, you go fix your problems and whatever you think's wrong, and we'll all be waiting here when you come back.
Yeah, once you're done with your little detour on your path, then you'll be able to come back and merge into this path.
She also brought up again that Anna is free to come to Amber and Trent's home at any time, just like all of the rest of them are. And so Anna hasn't done that, but that's something that's still accessible to her.
Yeah, yet also Liz isn't making any effort to have Leighton do like play visits or, go over and see Anna at her house or anything like that, or invite Anna to Liz and Bryce's house because that's a separate entity now.
I don't know when they decided that the only place that they could all interact was at Trent and Amber's house.
I think that was how it was kind of set up, where Trent and Amber set that expectation of like, she needs to get right with us before she gets right with you guys.
Which is unfair.
That's very unfair. And it's a way to kind of drive the wedge between the siblings, because we can't have the siblings making up and getting along when Trent and Amber are still fighting with Anna, because then they're going to look like they're the last people who are still holding out on apologizing or repairing the relationship with Anna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very clear that there's an effort to alienate Anna. And I don't think that this is going to get fixed anytime soon.
It's working. Yeah. So, it's that's the other part here is that it is successful. Yeah. So they're going to keep doing that.
So I will read you what Anna wrote, and it seems like she was rage typing it, so see if everything makes sense. You wonder why I stayed on the show for so long without being paid. It feels like the family only values a relationship if I'm part of it. part of the show.
Right.
She hasn't tried to fix anything either. I reached out on her birthday and wedding day and got no response. Emma even posted a TikTok on how it's upsetting that mom tells her not to speak to me. It's hard to even try to talk when it always turns into yelling, like when Trent came to my home. At the end of the day, I was exhausted from feeling controlled for years, and I still don't fully understand why you're upset with me. How about we let go of the past, forgive each other, and say I love you? There's always two sides of the story. Now, that's something that Liz said in the interview, so she's repeating that back.
Right.
There's always two sides of the story. I'm not scared to share the truth. You guys have explained on the show why you guys are upset with me, and it's ridiculous. I can't help you guys put out there on how you treat me, and then you guys say there are two sides. It would be hard to believe it if it's just me against the family, but how about your aunt and your cousins and your second cousins? I may not have kids, but I know I couldn't rest at night knowing our family is like this. We're not united. We're completely broken apart.
Well, that is kind of interesting, too, because we haven't really seen Trent's sister on the show this season either. She was kind of ramping up there in those seasons before the Anna separation really settled in here. So it seems like maybe that's another thing where they're looking at this and they're siding with Anna, because it's like, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there were photos from, I think it was Christmas. It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas this past year, and Anna was with them.
Right.
And so people kind of took that as, okay, well, the rest of the family isn't feeling like there's tension or issues with Anna, and they're spending the holidays with her.
Well, and even last season, like, Anna was still spending time with Nana and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she was doing... They were making jewelry at Nana's house and hanging out and spending time. And so, I mean, it's just those types of things too, where it's, you see little glimpses of like, maybe this is just a Trent and Amber thing.
Yeah. Well, because I do feel like on the show, they're trying to make it feel like, or at least all last season, they tried to make it seem like Anna just can't function in a family.
Mm-hmm.
It's all Anna perceiving there being problems when there really aren't.
Yeah.
And yet she's able to have relationships with other people. It's just you guys that she can't have a normal coexistence with.
Well, I think that's the thing, is they don't like the way Anna isn't fitting into their family system that they've established.
Yeah.
So like, it's this family, yes, that she is not assuming her role of punching bag, scapegoat, the reason why everything falls apart, and the person that we blame for everything.
It's the same thing we've seen on Welcome to Plathville, where various kids at different points in time have broken out of the, like you said, the image that the family created for them of Ethan's the clown, so he can only be funny. Or Mariah was the black sheep. And then when she was trying to figure out who she was outside of the family, that was a huge problem. So it's a toxic family system. And because she's the one who's pushing against it, she's being treated like she's a problem.
She keeps calling it out. She keeps calling attention to the issues. Also, our doors always open doesn't send the same inviting, warm, affectionate tone that you think it does, because Anna's whole reason for cutting off contact, at least at this stage, has been pretty clear about how, like, it's the way that you're treating me is the problem. So if you're saying our door's always open and you can come over whenever, and you know when we have Thanksgiving, those types of things, that's not fixing the issue. Anna's saying the way that you treat me is terrible, and I don't want that to continue in that way. I need to be respected. This needs to be, a give and take sort of relationship.
And they haven't been able to have a conversation about that. So really their expectation is once you're okay with being treated like that again, you can come back.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready to slide back into that role, then you can go ahead and do that.
It's so frustrating because this is such a common thing in families. And I don't understand how people don't see through what they're actually saying to somebody.
Well, most of it just goes unaddressed, I think. A lot of it.
Yeah. Which she was saying, where she was like, they just don't want to address any issues. Remember that was in the finale episode last season? It's like, we've just got to move on past something and pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
But that's not resolving anything.
Well, and then that's like the Cody and Robin approach too, where it's like, oh, we can talk about the past, but don't bring up any negative things because then you're speaking poorly about Robin, and that's not acceptable. Oh, okay. Well, that not everything was peachy keen, like there were some struggles. It was related to some of these situations that came up in our family history. So it's just like to completely ignore or shut down any of that side of things and then just not address it. No, don't talk about it. Don't fix it. Don't resolve it. And just pretend like nothing happened. That's the expectation here.
And she doesn't want to do that anymore.
No, yeah, you get to a breaking point.
She's been doing that for years.
You've been doing it your whole life. You're just constantly. I think that was why she was so stressed out. She kept taking on more and more and more to try to appease. Nothing you ever do is going to be good enough. Like they were trying to pile so many things onto you to break you at a certain point. And you didn't. Like, that speaks to the resiliency of you as an individual, though.
Yes, we were talking about this on the Patreon Discord because we were talking about Jonah going to college. I think that was a test by Amber to do what you just said. And they managed to break him, of him failing out of college. And then everything that happened when he moved out. It was like, I don't think it took
much. But I don't think it took much to break Jonah.
No.
to overwhelm him.
I think that Amber severely underestimated Anna and the fact that Anna has a lot of trauma and hyper independence is a trauma response.
Oh, yeah.
And so every time they threw a challenge in her way and said, go figure this out yourself, like it was a punishment, she went and did it.
She did it. Yeah. And she kept doing it. So then, what do you do with that? Now that's not working because we needed to keep her completely unprepared and then have her fail. So then that way she falls back to, I need to rely on mom and dad. That's this entire setup.
Well, and meanwhile, she's like, I'm doing perfectly fine out here on my own.
Yeah.
So stop criticizing the decisions I'm making.
It's not as, awful as you guys would make it seem here. Mm-hmm. Life without mom and dad, I'm doing pretty okay. And I'm a lot less stressed now that I'm just doing what I want to do. I'm not trying to do all of the things that you told me I had to do in order to keep favor with you.
Also, apparently Amber is pursuing her PhD, which is terrifying.
I mean, that's the last thing.
She's going to be at the top of her field.
It's all we're going to hear.
Is it social work?
That's all we're going to hear her talk about on the show. She's going to mention it all the time. They're going to have to change her title.
Oh, she's going to insist.
On the Chiron, she's going to have Dr.
Amber Johnston.
On the
she's going to have all kinds of T-shirts about getting her doctorate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That fire up the cricket machine. She's going to be working overtime here for sure.
Well, we'll see if anything else comes out of this. I would be shocked if anyone else fires back at her because she just said a lot in that message that I don't think they want people to know.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing as the weirdness at Liz kind of slamming Anna last season at Leighton's birthday party and stuff of, she doesn't show up and she blocked me on social media. And it was just like all of this stuff about how Anna doesn't show up for Leighton, but then the family has never shown up for Anna. So it's just like, how do you expect these things? Also, it's the person that you confided in about your pregnancy before you even told your parents. Like that's a whole other layer of
that
this.
Comes up in this episode.
Comes up. So it's just like, there's different points of this where it's just like, oh my God, it's so typical, but also it's so frustrating to see it play out like this.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it because we start off with Jonah hosting his own version of Hot Ones in their kitchen.
Yeah, the questions aren't as good as the actual Hot Ones.
Did they refuse to be interviewed? Because instead of being like interview-based questions, they were kind of lame.
It wasn't trivia.
No.
But it was like truth or dare? No, like types of, there wasn't anything insightful about it. Like normally if on a Hot Ones interview, there's something that you kind of like dig up in the past.
They're kind of like, have you ever questions.
Okay. Yeah. For the ones that Jonah was presenting. Yeah. It wasn't like we weren't really learning much about these people. And most of the answers, it was like stuff we've already seen on the show or things that they've talked about in the past that we didn't really. Well, we learned a couple of things.
There were some things revealed.
A few things about Amber, but they're starting on mild because you start with the lower intensity wings.
Okay, so explain what Hot Ones is for anyone who hasn't seen it. Okay,
so it's the interview show with hot wings and even hotter questions, I think is how it's introduced. That's how Sean introduces it on First We Feast. And so there's 10 wings, or depending on, for their vegan options for folks who don't eat chicken. Okay,
but it's typically chicken wings.
It's wings, yeah. And then there's varying degrees of intensity of heat based on the Scoville units of the hot sauces, but it ranges from 1 to 10, and then each wing, there's a question associated with that wing, and it just progressively gets hotter and more uncomfortable.
And you have to keep answering questions from the interview as you keep eating hotter and hotter wings.
Right.
That's what they're doing. I liked that Trent was prepared. He was clutching a bottle of Pepto-Bismol as he walked into the kitchen.
Honestly, that's a secret, is that if you coat your stomach with Pepto-Bismol before you eat spicy stuff, then that helps in the digestion process.
Can you do that with milk too, or is it just Pepto-Bismol? You need the medication.
Usually like a coating. I think the other thing, because Sean Evans? Sean Evans? Is that his name? Sean from First We Feast has mentioned this too. It was something about a banana. Like if you eat a banana before all the spicy stuff. I know, Carly, that's not an option for you. Mary Brown knows.
No, I cannot eat bananas.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Yeah. The green ones, it's a specific ripeness. Green versus brown. You're yellow right in the middle there. But I think that was one of the suggestions. It was like a shot of Pepto-Bismol and then eat a banana, and then I think you're good.
Those are two things I would never want to do together.
Like prior to. Yeah, it's like prior to.
Because aside from not being able to eat bananas, I don't hate bananas when they're the perfect ripeness. We talked about that. Anything that has an artificial banana flavor, no.
Yeah, because that banana doesn't exist anymore.
It's so gross. I can't.
The banana that they derived the artificial banana flavor from doesn't exist anymore in nature. Like it went extinct. So that's what's
why
weird.
Are we continuing to use that?
Because that's what the artificial flavor is derived from. So I don't know why they haven't. It doesn't really taste like banana, but that's what bananas tasted like at the time when they derived the artificial flavor for banana. So they got to update it.
My sister loved the taste of Pepto-Bismol growing up.
Pepto. Yeah, we weren't really a Pepto house. Just medicine in general. Didn't really get into that. Not my thing. I would never take
No, she
Tylenol
loved a little
for headaches.
shot of Pepto.
Yeah, like I wouldn't take stuff for when I had a headache. I would just suffer through it and just kind of,
I was like that
too. Sort of stuff. But yeah, not so much. I did eat a lot of bananas, though. I would always watch The Jungle Book you'd have to eat a banana while you're watching The Jungle Book, obviously.
It is worth watching this scene just to see Amber choke on all of the sauces.
We're choking on the mild sauces. Like this, we did not start off very good at all, because this is what Jonah's setting the level here. He's like, this is like 200 Scoville units, which is like barely reading on the scale.
Yeah, and then he cooked some little... What were they? They were like he called them nuggets, but they really weren't chicken.
We would call these chicky chunks.
Chicky chunks, that's what we call them in our house.
Yeah, that's the
the little Costco chicken chunks?
Yeah, the frozen chicken chunks.
Chicky chunks.
Chicky chunks. So he's cooking up some chicky chunks.
That's right. We don't have any children, but this is what we're calling food in our house.
Believe it or not. Leave it to us.
So this felt like we weren't being true to the show because we didn't have wings. And usually the wings are already coated. So they were able to dip as much sauce as they wanted or didn't want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, too, because on actual hot ones, sometimes people take like little tiny bites of stuff where they don't really like clean the wing, so to speak, where they're not eating every single morsel of meat off of the bone.
Let's talk about everybody competing and whether or not they would clear the wing.
Oh, I don't think anybody here is going to be clearing any wings. Maybe Jonah.
I think Liz would clear the wing.
Liz would not clear the wings.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I feel like she's very competitive.
Yeah, until she gets to wing number 8, which that had to have been da bomb, because that's about that point, 7, 8, when they have it on the scale there. And so if Jonah did acquire the sauces similar to or specifically from the Hot Ones challenge, then that's probably right around where that is. Where da bomb is like notoriously terrible as far as a hot sauce.
It doesn't taste good, right?
It tastes awful. It has like a very chemically aftertaste to it. It's very processed. It's not a good flavor at all. Plus, it is just uncomfortably hot, unnaturally hot. But I've had it. It's not my favorite. It's not like some people have equated it to, battery acid and whatnot, but it's just, I don't think it's that bad. It didn't have a good flavor, though, and it was a noticeable heat, though.
Last season, they did that scavenger hunt that Jonah set up, and at the end of it, they had to eat, was it 2 jalapeno peppers?
Oh, yeah, it was like a loaded jalapeno.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Liz housed both of them because Bryce couldn't get it down.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't stomach it.
So we've seen them eat spicy stuff before.
They've done spicy. Yeah.
Let's get into some of the questions.
The questions, though. Yeah, the questions were a little revealing. I mean, we did learn a couple of things. This was where the pregnancy secret was mentioned here for Liz.
Liz happened to get the question about, like, what was a big secret that you kept from everyone? And so she was like, oh, that's easy.
Obviously.
My pregnancy.
Leighton would be the answer.
But then on the couch, we hear her and Bryce have some other secrets that they've been keeping that she's not comfortable revealing until they've been married for maybe a year or so.
Oh, so we might never hear it. No, I think that
burned.
They'll go at least a year. At least a year.
Well, she's pregnant, so
yeah.
I think he'll stick around at least until the baby's born. The second one might be a breaking point, though.
Maybe.
Because they were living with Trent and Amber the first time.
Right.
So now it's going to be all her and Bryce.
He's not going to have anybody to blame it on. She's not going to have anybody to blame it on.
She's going to blame everything on Bryce.
Well, she's going to blame everything on Bryce. So yeah, That's going to be the big problem here is it's just, are you ready for that? Are you ready for every single thing in your guys' life to be your fault? Mm-hmm. Because that's how Liz operates.
Their relationship is so bad.
It's really rough.
It's getting hard to watch.
We're just getting started. We're just getting started on this.
They haven't even gotten married yet.
Mm-mm.
I think they have by time they're doing all of the interviews on the couch for the season.
Yeah.
And it must be either a really bad day for them or it's been bad since, what's their wedding date? November 8th? Something like that.
It's beginning of November.
It's been bad since November.
What do you think the secrets are? What do you think the other things that Bryce is alluding to?
She made a joke later at her bachelorette party, and I think he was a virgin and she was not.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think that was one of them, which also okay. Maybe you don't need to tell the whole world Bryce's business.
That seems to be her business, though. Like, that's what she's in the business of.
I know the big secret everybody thinks may actually be true is that she purposely got pregnant.
Uh-oh.
That it wasn't an accident.
They were trying. Yeah, maybe they were trying a little bit. Yeah, so it's either stuff that they've snuck behind Trent and Amber's back, or I was thinking about stuff with the land, too, with, the plots that they bought where it was like, oh, no, we talked with the developer, and I don't think that's going to work out, but thanks anyway.
They haven't
It was
told
such a
us
good
what they're
idea.
doing with that property because now they bought a house.
Yeah.
I don't know if the plan is to save more money and eventually build something. I could see her still expecting them to live
Needing
down
a
the
dream.
street from
Needing
Trent
a
and
dream
Amber.
home. Oh, well, and she needs to build a Barbie dream home. Yeah. For herself
Yeah.
here. A farm home.
Bryce
dream
isn't
home.
making it long enough to see that house be built.
Probably not.
Okay, so that's when they asked a question about ignoring phone calls,
Oh, yeah.
sending someone to voicemail.
Mhm.
And Bryce admitted that he ignores when Liz calls him on trash day.
When he knows, well, not that was like a specific example. He throws Liz to voicemail when he knows she's just going to complain to him about stuff.
About himself.
About him.
Mainly.
Yeah. Or things that he forgot to do or didn't do.
Okay, and then the
When
trash was an example.
The trash was an example of that, of an instance where the only reason she's calling him is to nag him about something that he forgot to do or didn't do up to her standards.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be, it's trash day. What day is it? You didn't take the trash cans out. Yeah, well, now that I see that you're calling, I remembered what I was supposed to do. I don't need to go through the whole conversation of you actually berating me on the phone. And Liz is like, but I need that. I need to get that out of my system.
I know. She was always like, now the trash is going to sit there for a whole nother week. Okay.
I mean, I get it. You got a newborn. It's
I get it.
well,
But
not
like,
newborn,
get another
but
trash can.
Get another trash can. Maybe would be
No,
a good
or-
solution for that.
Like you, maybe he needs to set alarms on his phone.
I have an alarm for every single week. Yeah, I have to do it because otherwise I will forget. The problem is, I think it was when we were doing the live after shows for
Real Housewives,
Housewives of Salt Lake City. My alarm would go off to take the trash out while we were doing that, and then I would forget. So I kept forgetting that whole time. I was like, this is not good. It's got to go out. But like that was, at least it was in the fall, it was in the winter, so I wasn't doing
it wasn't hot cooking out
it wasn't
there.
hot and stuff. And then we have another trash can that's normally for like lawn stuff, because usually if I'm throwing out like the grass clippings and stuff, I wasn't mowing the lawn, so that one was empty. So we were able to work that out. Yeah, and that was okay. But sometimes, yeah, if it's gonna be like super windy or stormy or something, I'm like, I'm not taking the trash out. It's gonna blow down the street.
Yeah, I think that was one of many, many, many examples that Bryce could.
Oh, yeah, that was
us.
the easiest thing. The first one that came to mind where he's like, oh, this is like an every other week occurrence type of a thing. But again, put a reminder on your phone, sir, if you need to. And then just, have that go off for either the night before or the morning of or both, just in case you miss one. And then you get the second one. So then that way you don't have to deal with that all the time.
I don't
every
think
week.
he's listening.
I don't think he's going to do that. It's okay.
Amber's answer about if she'd ever sent a text to somebody that wasn't intended for them.
So she sent a saucy text to Pawpaw instead of Trent, which at what stage? Like, when was this? This is smartphone
How
era.
with it was Pawpaw.
Yeah,
still.
like Pawpaw was kind of, a little more out of it towards the end there, where he wasn't totally aware of what was going on. So I think he could have been very confused by that for several numbers of reasons of why that would be.
I'm shocked that's only happened to her one time.
Yeah, for the amount that they're doing the saucy texts, I think this is surprising. It's only happened one time. I mean, that's the one that she was
At
willing
least
to share.
Yes. That's what I was just about to
That
say.
was what she was willing to divulge
Mhm.
of that one instance that she remembers of that, perhaps.
Amber drops out after they get to the number 8 sauce.
Sauce 8. I think that's probably right around Da Bomb. And that's the worst time to drop out, because now your mouth is just completely obliterated. You could probably finish out with the rest of them.
Happened to her before.
It's fine. It's fine.
Only Jonah and Emma stick with it to get to the 10th and final sauce.
Emma regretted it, though. And then
Yeah.
it's like, we didn't even hear about like the aftermath of this too, because the plumbing situation, the bathroom fights that are about to take place the next 24 hours.
I feel like Jonah never left the bathroom that night.
Or Alex too. Yeah, I feel like Alex how far did he get? I think he stopped around 8 too.
Oh, yeah, he went pretty far, actually.
Yeah.
I really thought he would have made it to like 3.
He just knew. Yeah. He just knew he had to get as far as Amber so that she wouldn't give him any shit. So that's the way to do it.
And then Bryce walks in with Leighton. He hasn't been here through any of this. He just finds them in the kitchen. There's a bunch of sauces on the counter. And Liz hands him a nugget with some sauce on it and goes, try this.
Here, eat this. So don't do that. Like when Bryce is talking about, oh yeah, this has happened so many times where she just hands me stuff and tells me to eat it and then it's terrible. Then don't do that.
I wouldn't
anymore.
take anything from her.
I would say
right?
no.
Why do you do that to somebody? You're going to make them not trust you.
Well, and so, yeah, he's like,
you should
he
say,
eats it first.
This is really, really hot.
And then we flash back because I was like, oh my God, Bryce doesn't do spicy though, right? Because the jalapeno popper thing, Liz had to eat both of them on the scavenger hunt last season. But then he said it's not because it's too spicy. It's just the taste. So I was like, okay, well now I'm not as concerned if it was like a spice thing that he was having an aversion to, but he was just saying he didn't like the taste of the pepper.
Remember he was spitting it over the side of the railing?
Yeah, he was like having a whole reaction going on here. He wasn't able to get this thing down. So it was like, okay, well, this is different, but to just be handed a nug with some sauce on it and then say, here, house this. And he ate it. He popped it in and just, down the hatch. And he did fine at first. But then this is usually like when you're talking about that heat level, it builds. Like it's going to creep up on you and then it hits. And there's nothing really.
He started sweating. His nose is running.
He's hiccuping. The hiccups. It was like,
he had to hand Leighton off to somebody else.
He's like concerned now. But yeah, it wasn't a surprise to him that she's handed him stuff to eat that's, life threatening, basically.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves when people do things like that to other people.
Yeah, I don't think I do that to you. I don't just hand you food that I know that you're going to hate.
I would refuse.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, terrible. I do not like her.
To make this extra uncomfortable. Yeah, the hiccups made me very concerned.
Should we take a quick break? I know I don't have a break in here, but I feel like we've been talking for a while. So.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Don't want to miss the chicken's arrival at the Johnston home. So we'll do that right after the break.
We're back. Luckily today I'm not wearing a wig, so it did not slide off my head during the ad break.
Yeah, not this time.
You'll have to watch the Welcome to Plathville episode from this week over on Patreon if you want to see that, because it was frightening.
You don't want to miss it.
So the chickens have made it to the Johnston home, which RIP. I can only assume that they're not with us anymore.
That's the safest assumption that we can make at this point. And they're going to try and smash 4 of these chickens into this little tiny Wayfair coop.
I'm telling you, this chicken coop is for maybe 2 chickens.
At best. Yeah. Like.
Even Trent looks at it and he's like, this is not going to be big enough for 4 chickens. Mm-mm. So add it to the list. I need to start building another chicken coop or finding one that's going to be more accommodating.
But then this is how you're getting roped in on it, because this was the exact thing that you said was not going to happen. Your hands off on the chickens, not going to be involved in the chicken stuff. And then here we go.
But if he's not, then Amber will not give them appropriate living conditions.
Yeah. And then, I don't know what's better, to put these chickens out of their misery sooner rather than later. Like, what's the deal here?
Send them back to where they came from.
Please. Yeah. Because then they are arriving in those boxes where Trent's like, oh, this is like those boxes that you used to take cats to the vet in with like the holes in it. It was like the fold up cardboard boxes and stuff. And it was like, yeah, that was exactly what that was. But that's what the chickens got shipped here in, I guess.
Shipped from where?
I don't know. She was buying them online. So how did they get here?
Okay.
I have more questions than answers.
Go to a farm and at least go pick them up.
Maybe they did. I don't know. But it looked like there was an online. I don't like that they were
putting cardboard boxes.
Yeah, well,
I'm upset about it.
You think that they'd be like pecking at them and stuff. And rip
Get
through.
used to it. That thing's only a little bit smaller than where you're going to be living.
Right. The square footage, you should be accommodating for that now at this point.
I'm glad to know somebody here is thinking about the fact that this is not appropriate, that we need to care for these chickens a little better.
Oh, that Trent is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then what's the goal here? They have the chickens, they introduce them to the coop. Trent's trying to see if Emma can pick up a chicken without it running away, which she did a couple of times. They were able to do that. And then it's, let's bring Leighton out to play with the chickens?
That was Amber's entire goal.
That was the whole reason
that
for
was
this.
the vision for the chickens.
Don't think that's a good idea. The chicken's dirty bird, man. Like,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like, I don't want to be doing all that. Plus, you got Leighton, who's like barely one, who's going to be like grabbing onto these things. They just got all this fluff and fur, and it's just like, yeah, I don't think that we're going to be.
The chicken and the baby are going to mix.
Babies and chickens shouldn't be hanging out together. Yeah, I don't think so.
I know. I was automatically thinking she's going to touch these chickens, then she's going to touch her face. She's going to put her hands in her mouth.
Gonna pick up the chicken poop and interact with that a little bit.
She didn't even really seem that into them.
No, she kept calling them ducks.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know what's going on.
It's really strange to buy animals just to entertain a kid who comes over occasionally.
Who has an attention span of a goldfish. So it's just like, yeah, we don't need to be doing that. This just shows like just that throwaway sort of mentality of living creatures where I'm just
Amber's
like,
in it for the novelty of it. And then once it fades, she'll get rid of them.
And then I don't care anymore. It's like how you're not supposed to do, what is it, the baby ducks and baby bunnies and stuff. Like, people used to just do that for Easter. Like, buy some animals, bring them home so your kid can look at them and then just, I don't know, discard them afterwards. So it's just like,
people did that during COVID.
What?
With pets.
Oh, with the pets. Yeah. And I mean, like, not to say, because we had ducks. There was one Easter where we got a box full of ducks. And it was just like, But raccoon got them. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. It was, I think there was maybe one night where it was, going out and finding out this. My parents found out. And then it's like, well, they're not going to tell us that, like, a raccoon ripped through all the baby ducks.
Stop. I don't want to hear any more about it.
Well, one of them made it. So, yeah. And then that grew into an adult duck and then went to live on a farm because we didn't have a farm. So, yeah, it was good. Eventually.
I unfortunately think that is the future for these chickens.
Raccoon's going to slide in from that tree. It's going to drop in Mission Impossible style.
Also, Amber wanted to see this big moment of Leighton playing with the chicken. That was her dream. And then she wasn't even there.
She wasn't there. No, but they got it on camera. And I think that was what Amber's goal was here. Also, I don't think maybe Amber was upset with Leighton's reaction to it too. A little limited. She wasn't really that involved. It didn't
go the way she wanted.
It's a very Bryce reaction, is what Liz was calling it. Where Leighton's not sure about this. She has to assess the environment and kind of figure out what's going on.
Why does she always have to talk to him or talk about him in such a negative light?
Because she has to tear him down to build herself up.
Yeah,
probably is the short answer. That's the brief answer.
Let's get psyched for their wedding because we have more wedding events going on in this episode.
Yes, so we have Liz's bridal brunch / bachelorette party / there was like 4 different things that they were referring to this as, which those could all be different individual things. Mm-hmm. But if you're just interchangeably referring to this as all of those things, I don't know what this is.
I was confused. I was like, is this a bachelorette party or is this a bridal shower?
Bridal shower? Is it a bridal? It's a bridal brunch. It's yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this is.
She wanted something that was just going to be low key. So I think she planned most of this for herself because this is PJs and Prosecco, and pretty much no one else in the family knows what Prosecco is or how to spell it.
Yeah.
Except for Jonah.
Sure. Oh, Jonah knows. Yeah.
Because Jonah was looking up a bunch of drink recipes.
Yeah, he's mixology now. Yeah.
That happens later in this episode.
That's what he's doing here. He's getting ready. But I think, yeah, like the big part of this is where Liz is very adamant about keeping it classy, keeping it wholesome, keeping it fun and light. And that's not really the plan.
No. Amber and Emma have decided that this is supposed to be a raunchy affair.
This is supposed to be PJs and penises. There should be dicks rubbing all over the place here. I think. Is that what's going?
According to Emma, and I'm like, Emma, you are 20 years old. How many other bachelorette parties have you been to at this point?
Yeah, and it's
bridal showers,
well,
anything.
Maybe, okay, yeah. So like maybe they wanted more penis stuff because it was like, can you get like a cake or like the little straws or just any of those types of things? And then Liz was like, no, I'm not into any of that. So I think they had ideas and they were kind of shot down in the process there.
Sounds like her.
Yeah. That seems like a Liz thing.
Fits with everything else we've seen for Liz in this wedding.
Especially if you made it abundantly clear that that's something that you would like to see as part of this. It's something that would bring you joy. Mm-hmm. Liz loses interest in that immediately. We've learned that.
I think Amber just had a lot of stuff saved up. You know, some spare items from the bedroom that she was willing to bring to the bachelorette party.
A lot of penile type things, phallic objects that could
things
be
she's collected over 17 seasons of this show.
Stashed around here, yeah. As a business expense, of course. Definitely.
Yeah. Maybe she was looking to use them later.
Oh, maybe.
She was going to keep things after the party.
Perhaps. But no, not raunchy. We're going to keep it classy. And so we're opening with a little game that was included here. It's the panty game, even though some people really don't like that word. So we got to be careful.
That's what they called it.
They called it. It was, what is this? Match your personality panties?
Everyone had to go out and buy a pair of panties that were inspired by Liz's personality.
By Liz's personality or the personality of the person who purchased the gift? Because then the game was that Liz needed to open the panties, look at them, and then guess who purchased those.
Yeah, well, it's like you can figure out, hopefully, your friend's sense of humor and understand if something came from them.
I guess.
Look, I didn't hate the games here.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I don't know.
I've seen much worse and much more boring.
Yeah.
So we open up the first pair, and they're a pair of McDonald's panties.
Oh, it's like a Happy Meal box.
I didn't know this existed. There's some arches, some golden arches on the back.
Oh, boy. So, is this a spot that McDonald's paid for? Is this
product placement?
What is this? Yeah. I have concerns. Yeah, maybe we can work on that. Did they workshop this?
I don't think
Did
so.
they run? I don't think so.
Liz really wasn't understanding who bought them or getting the joke.
No, well, this was the first pair too. So I think Liz wasn't really sure what she was getting herself involved in at this point. And then it was just becoming very clear very quickly what type of game this is.
These were from Carol. Carol, who face planted into that. Was it a candy?
The sprinkles.
The sprinkles.
They need to show that every single time that we see Carol on camera, but they don't. They kind of trailed off.
You're at an interactive museum where there was a bunch of sprinkles that you could dive into.
Well, you're not supposed to dive into them, but she did, and that illustrated exactly why you're not supposed to do that.
The next thing she opens are a pair of edible panties.
Oh, you thought this was from Amber's personal collection.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Amber didn't go out and buy these. That's why they were so old. They were already disintegrating.
They were expired. Because then that's what Liz opened them up to like see, because this is... Well, the other problem, too, is where it was like, oh, it's edible. What did it say? Gel? Like edible gel panty? Or like...
They were gummy or something.
Gummy panty. Yeah. And it was like, gummy panty? Like, why would you want to put that on? It's going to be all sticky.
Well, that's what Carol said. That's a trip to the gynecologist. Because they were covered in sugar.
Well, that's what the consistency of it, it was like that gummy sort of... like old gummy where now the sugar is separating from the gelatin in the packaging because it's just been rotting in this plastic bag
and
forever.
Liz opens them and there are like holes in them.
Well,
like
she's trying
Swiss
to,
cheese.
It's like trying to take apart a fruit roll up with lace attaching the
It's
two
all
sides of it.
stuck to itself.
So she's trying to like peel it apart. It's just ripping. It's just falling apart. I love when she's explaining it to Bryce, because Bryce was like, "Oh, I didn't get to see them. I didn't get to see that pair of edible underwear." And she was like, "It had holes and stuff. It was coming apart." And he was like, "I still would have liked to have seen it." Like, he was very disappointed that he did not get to experience this. But dude, I don't think that would have been.
It looked like a gummy worm.
It was coming apart. It was check the expiration date on that.
That's what I'm saying.
For sure.
She had them sitting around somewhere in, when they had that upstairs attic area that was the top floor of their house that didn't have any air conditioning?
Yeah.
I think they were sitting up there
above
in a
the
box
garage.
for years.
Above the garage. And either that or just some warehouse. Even if they bought it, it was just like, a warehouse in Georgia, an adult store that had
Did she look at them before she put them in the bag? Because you could tell before they even came out of the packaging that something was wrong with them.
Well, no, I mean, like, I don't think she opened them.
No, but like you could see in the package that.
Oh, you could?
You could see there was like a hole. Like they looked weird already.
Something's off. Yeah, something's not fitting in here. They don't know. But like,
get your money back for those.
I've seen the edible underwear that's like, you remember those necklaces?
Not from me.
No, those necklaces, like
candy necklaces.
Like a candy necklace, but then it's like, that's what it's made of, right? Yeah. Like a bikini with that sort of string candy.
Like the gummy aspect of it was
bad idea.
Yeah.
What was that? Why would you want to wear that there? Because then you're going to be all sticky.
Remember when Caesar from 90 Day Fiance packed a bunch of edible underwear?
Didn't it melt in his suitcase like this? Probably. Yeah. Well, I mean, nobody ever met up with him or showed up for him.
There was no one to use them with.
That's the problem. That's usually what ends up being the issue there.
So they're in the middle of doing this, and then somebody knocks on the door in a police officer's uniform.
Oh, boy. It's ice. Everybody get down. Turn the lights off. Oh, no. No, maybe it's not. Probably not. Was it?
No, he said they had a warrant.
Oh.
So they had a warrant for Elizabeth's arrest. He didn't say for what.
Right. Not yet. And then...
What crime do you think Elizabeth would be convicted of?
Did he say she had a warrant? No, he said...
Yeah, he said, I have a warrant.
Oh, I didn't hear warrant. I heard...
I did. I'm listening for that.
I didn't hear that. What I heard was, I'm here because I'm here to arrest Liz. Mm-hmm. That's what I heard. And I was like, he better have a warrant. Yeah.
Or we're not answering the door.
We're not answering. Lights are off. Door's locked. Come back with a warrant.
What crime do you think she committed?
What crime do you think she committed?
He did tell us.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Stealing Bryce's heart.
Yeah, I don't think so. There's what do you think?
A hit and run. That's exactly what
Jesus Christ.
I was gonna go one of those old country roads. Remember that house they were trying to live in for the dog? That was it the nose for Bryce? It was. She also said the dog needed land, but Bryce needed land to hunt on.
Yeah, unfortunately, that dog needed a lot of stuff, and
it was the dog who ate the toad.
I know what it was.
Yeah,
I know what it was. They're not allowed to have pets anymore on this show.
But driving home in the early hours back from her nursing job, I think she'd hit someone and leave them on the side of the road.
2 hours, yeah. What was that hour and 40-minute commute that she was going to do at 2:00 in the morning with no lights on the road and completely unpaved dirt roads with huge potholes in them and stuff? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that should be fine in the winter. That should be all right. No big deal. It's looking real good. Yeah.
So when he says, I heard Elizabeth stole Bryce's heart, she responds, I stole a lot of things from him, apparently.
Apparently. Interesting. Stole a lot of things from him, apparently.
Was there something like not consensual that happened?
Stole something. That implies
she stole his happiness for sure and his peace.
Yeah. I would say that's unfortunately that's not a crime though. Like legally, to steal his peace of mind, I guess.
This is not a real stripper.
I could say that confidently because I was like, all right, let's see what the freelance Georgia stripper market is like, right? It's good to know just to find out so we have an idea just in case we need to do this. Now, as a point of comparison, nope, this guy, whatever board that there needs to be, board of certification for strippers, let's get some standards.
Yeah, we need credentials.
We need some standards in place so then that way we know that you're hiring somebody who is qualified for the job that you're setting out to do. Is this just someone from production, though?
I believe so. I think this is a PA who works on the show.
They're not paying them
The way he
enough.
was dancing and everything.
The dancing was not, no.
He ends up improvising a song at one point where he's making up lyrics all about Bryce.
And Liz and their love together.
Right, which,
allegedly.
how does he know that much about them?
Because Amber gave him all of the information.
He works on the show. He has to.
There's no way. You're not paying a PA enough to do what that man did on this.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you right now.
No.
PAs don't get paid enough to be doing all of that. What we just saw. We did not experience that. I don't know. I don't know who this
Central
is.
casting?
Central casting? Maybe. I mean, it could be.
A family friend.
Yeah, these are all possibilities. I don't think this was a licensed official stripper, though.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to say that right out the gate.
Mm-mm.
Definitely didn't
This
seem
feels like
it.
another one of the fictional things that they're coming up with as like we're trying to create drama.
Yeah.
Liz didn't want something raunchy. We got a stripper who never took his clothes off.
Yeah, that was the other thing that I noticed where it was like, this guy's not legit. Or there was a request where it was like, hey, like, don't. Because we got to keep it classy, right?
Yeah.
We're not doing raunchy
This
stuff.
is the PG version of her bachelorette party that's going to be on television.
What do you think about the placing the hat on Liz's head, which obviously didn't fit because Akon, but like the handcuffs too? That seemed very foreign to Liz in all of this.
The stripper also. He didn't know how to work them.
Stripper didn't know how to work the cuffs. So again,
Pick
we're
another
losing
costume.
Points. Losing points.
Don't come dressed as a police officer then.
What would he come dressed as?
A firefighter.
Yeah, firefighter's gonna
Get creative. Come
that'll
on.
be that's more of a crowd pleaser, I think. Probably. Then you could have a lot of like lines with like for like your hose extension stuff. There's a lot of euphemisms that you could throw around as a firefighter for that, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like once you get past the I'm here to arrest you because you did XYZ, where do you go from there?
Oh. Well, I think that was what he was trying to do. Was then it was like, oh, here's the handcuffs.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like you're out of material.
Yeah. There's not a lot of room to go from there, especially once it's like, well, now I'm taking my clothes off, even though you're under arrest. So it's just like, this is weird. This is weird. Plus the power dynamic, don't like it. Did Liz, with the handcuffs stuff, she seemed very new to this. Did this awaken something in her?
I hope not, because if anybody's getting stuck with the handcuffs, it's going to be Bryce.
Yeah.
I think she wants to lock somebody up.
Oh, right. She's the dom.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem is like you can't trust a complete sadist to be the dom because then it's just there's a lot of trust that has to go into that process.
Ask Amber. She probably had the key.
It must be. Well, since this episode's getting demonetized anyway, let's play porn or polish because that's the game that's been assigned here where there's a list of names. It's descriptions where you have to decide, is that the name of an adult film or is that a name of a nail polish color?
I liked this.
This was fun. Yeah, this was good.
There's a lot of nail polish colors that are a little nasty.
Yeah, who knew, right?
Yeah.
Did not realize that.
So let's play it. I wrote them all down. You guys guess, and then we'll tell you at the end.
Okay, yeah.
Below the belt, polish or adult movie?
I thought it was an adult film, yeah.
Oh, no, I guessed polish.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nail polish.
It's a nail polish, yeah.
Topless and barefoot,
That sounded like an adult film too.
Nail polish.
But yeah, it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Playing with fire.
Now at this point, it's like, okay, so then this one has to be the movie, right?
Right, since the first two were nail polishes.
Yeah, so now I'm just going to inverse my opinions moving forward.
White chocolate.
White chocolate definitely sounded like an adult film.
Cherry pop.
Which this was the controversial one because it was initially you would think, oh, that would be adult film. No. That would be rearranged in the description there. So cherry pop, that's definitely a nail polish color.
It's nail polish.
Yeah.
Soft and wet.
It sounds like it would be a film, but it's not. It's probably a polish color.
Okay, it's a nail polish, and this one is confusing
How would
because
that be?
what colors do you associate with the name soft and wet?
Blue, because it's like water, wet water.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Soft and wet. So like a light blue, maybe? Does that sound right?
I'll fact check you after.
Oh, boy.
And meatballs.
Meatballs. But see, they weren't clear about this because they were saying meatballs. So then you assume, oh, that's meatballs like the food.
MEAT.
MEAT. No, they're talking MEET. Meatballs. Which Jonah's like, that definitely sounds like an adult film. But it's a nail polish color.
It is. It's pink.
Pink?
It's not even what you would expect.
Meatballs. Yeah, unless that's going to be like a brownish red for like the sauce.
It's a play on words.
It's a play on words?
No, that's what you're thinking. So meatballs,
Yeah, meatballs.
but it's still going to be the color of like a meatball and sauce.
Yeah, like a marinara. And and some brown meatballs.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. The winner of this game ends up being Liz with 9 correct. And Amber's right behind her. She just missed by 1. She had 8 that were right.
So that was a big surprise to Liz. Liz can't believe that she won. And then Trent was very proud that Liz knew her adult films.
Amber was pissed.
Either
She
that
was like,
or I think Amber was very upset. But it's like, that's how Amber kept describing it was, oh, yeah, your daughter really knows her adult films. No, you could just say.
That's also gross. Why would you say that?
Well, you could say she really knows her nail polish. You could see it that way instead. But no, she had to go this route. This is what I was talking about, though, with like narcissists and like talking about like uncomfortable sexual things.
Yeah, so we were watching 90 Day Fiancé.
Before the 90 day? This is before the 90 day, right? That's the iteration.
I think so.
That we're watching right now?
Yeah, we're watching Forrest. Forrest and his mom.
Yeah, well, Forrest.
Well, they're not together. Although she might want to be.
Despite her best efforts. So yeah, it was the weird overstep that was happening where Forrest was describing him losing his virginity to his girlfriend and explaining that whole experience.
His mom asked about it.
Mom was asking for details at the table with them, like when they're all there. So it was very wildly uncomfortable. But it's like, it's a power dynamic. It's a power move thing where it's these things that you're not supposed to be talking about necessarily.
I'm trying not to laugh, but Maisie's tongue is hanging out.
Yeah, she's very sleepy. She's very comfy.
Yeah, it's the same thing here where it's like, why do you keep talking about raunchy stuff?
I mean, like, that's always been a through line for Trent and Amber on this series, is that it's always, there's the double entendre jokes or the, the bed check-in stuff that happens with them talking and discussing that always leads to them
and talking about it in front of the kids.
Yeah. So just different stuff like that where it was just like, oh, and the Papa sending the raunchy text to Papa by mistake and then like telling your kids about that and stuff. So I don't know. Like, it seems like there's kind of just like that boundary thing. It's a boundary thing. It's because it's like you're overstepping, you're
making other
impeding,
people uncomfortable.
Yeah, on that.
See how far you can push them.
Right. Yeah. Or like what you're not able to get away with, but just like, I don't know, that kind of was an interesting similarity that was noticed there.
We've got a lot of listeners who have said they have narc parents. So let us know in the comments if that's something that you've experienced.
Yeah. If there was like weird stuff like that. Weird stuff.
So that is her bridal brunch bachelorette party something.
Whatever you want to call it.
Hopefully we're not subjected to more parties
I hope
before
not.
this wedding.
There can't be too many more, right? It seems like we're really accelerated timeline here. So we do have a couple other planning things that are going on here where Bryce is able to get back at Liz here for canceling the camo vest because we still have a couple of design decisions to be making throughout the process here.
They go back to the same place that she got her dress.
I think that this was the same trip. This was the same day.
Oh.
I don't think that they're
You don't
going
think it was...
back
Okay.
to pick out a garter as a whole separate trip. I feel like this was just part of...
Just if you're going to keep going back to the same place, just check it all off at once.
Yeah. And also, this was the same exact fabric that they used, that they had for his vest.
The camo vest.
The camo.
tie.
Because they're here to pick out a garter for Liz. And so he was asking, do they have camo options for that? And so the lady was like, we have some fabric. Maybe we could make one for you. And she pulls out the fabric and it's like, that's the one that it would have been his vest.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. It's the
and
camo.
He clocks on the it. He goes, oh, that looks familiar.
He goes, hey, I know that. Yeah, I liked that because I liked it as a vest and as a tie. So I guess we'll do it as a garter instead. But again, on the small, you don't get the whole.
That's true.
Appeal.
You're not really going to see much of the camo because it's
No.
going to be such a small item.
No. And then it's going to be, out of sight for most of the night too,
which is why Liz is okay with it.
That's why she's okay with it.
Yeah.
That's why she's going along with this.
So this is the one thing that she's allowed to be camo in the wedding because it's going to be hidden underneath her dress for the majority of the wedding.
Yeah. And at least it's white, so it matches the dress. Thinking of Liz in this moment, which Liz is very impressed that Bryce is able to consider her wardrobe as part of this. And it's like, well, yeah, returning some of that consideration
Wasn't
would
that
be
a
nice.
shitty comment?
Yeah.
I'm glad you were thinking of me.
Well, I think
You've been the only person whose opinion about anything has mattered for the entire wedding.
it's a sarcastic dig,
Mhm.
but it's like it goes back to, yeah, well, I wish that you would have thought of me when I was picking my vest type of a thing.
Yeah. I thought that was like missing a lot of self-awareness when she said that.
It's a self-burn in this when she's like digging at him of, oh, thanks for considering my dress as all of this because you really wanted the camo and you went with the camo, but it's white to match my dress. Yeah, that's for my benefit. And it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I really wanted camo for the vest. Maybe we could have gone with a different garter then, and then you wouldn't have had to wear that one then. If we just stuck with the camo vest for the reception.
Pretend to be excited about it, especially when you already overruled that he can't have the vest. You called and canceled that. So pretend to be excited about the garter then.
No, absolutely not. That's not going to happen at all. So they also are going to be working on spicing things up. This is according to Liz. She wants to spice things up for their first dance at the wedding. What does that mean?
So they're both not good dancers, is what we find out. He is really nervous about doing a first dance in front of people. And Trent keeps talking about how Liz is not graceful.
Liz is artistic, but she's not graceful.
We saw her knock into him as they were trying to practice walking down the aisle.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
The wrecking ball.
He knows firsthand here what to this experience is like.
She wants to choreograph a dance.
Well, that's the scary part. You guys, neither one of you are dancers by trade or by like any stretch of the
you
imagination.
You don't have any natural talent.
You guys don't do this on a regular basis. Why? Why are you going to try to choreograph a dance for this? We've seen choreographed dances on this show. They do not end up well. It does not. Remember what they were going to do? It was like the whole family was supposed to do a dance at their, what event was that? It was their,
was it an anniversary party for Trent and Amber?
I can't remember.
Or was it an LP conference?
The anniversary one was the LP conference. That was just Trent and Amber, and they did like their tango or salsa. They kept calling it salsa.
There have been so many dances. Then they did that one where they tap danced to make a TikTok.
Oh, what is it? What was it? Clogging. They were clogging.
Oh, clogging.
Remember?
Okay, clogging.
Okay, clogging.
And then they did the Grease reenactment where they wrote that song.
I don't think they wrote. That's a stretch. They did, yeah.
Handsy,
so that was a
handsy
dance.
husband, naggy wife.
No, Carly wrote those lyrics. That's different. Handy husband, bossy wife. Because I kept saying naggy too, so it wasn't naggy.
No, we
Sorry.
completely changed the whole
Sorry,
song.
we butchered that. But yeah, so they did a little bit of a dance routine for that too, but it wasn't like a choreographed, syncopated couples dance that was happening.
No, I think
that.
this is a lot of pressure. You know, it's just you two doing the dance together.
Why are you doing this to yourselves? Why are you even going through this process or looking into this? So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll answer that question and hopefully more after the break.
They go to Georgia Dance Lab. I think they've been here before as a family.
This wasn't the place where they did the clogging, though.
No.
The TikTok
but it
stuff.
was another one of the dances that they decided to work on together.
Maybe it was
because
the
the
salsa.
logo looked familiar to me.
Maybe it was the salsa one, the saucy one with Trent and Amber for the LP conference.
Yeah. I mean, they're only allowed to go places that are approved by Amber anyway.
Well, and places that'll allow them to film, for sure.
Okay.
That's a big part of it.
Fair. I was going to blame it on Amber.
No, yeah, I mean, sure. That's another caveat.
I mean, maybe you just walk in and say, hey, we're not really comfortable dancing together at all. Can we learn just some basic slow dancing?
Yeah, like...
We don't need to be twisting. We don't need to be dipping. We don't need to be doing anything fancy.
Leaning, spinning. And there's if you couldn't tell, there's a height differential here that we're trying to work around.
There's already a level of difficulty that they have to overcome.
Yeah. So I didn't like that they were in a class with other people. Don't like that already. Don't want to be doing that.
I would have gone home. If
I
I
wouldn't have done
showed
it.
up to this class and
No.
somebody was filming to be on TV, I'd be like, no.
No, and yeah, not today. Not happening. So yeah, we're not going to do that. But like to be in a class where there's other people, and then this teacher is like, I pride myself on being able to teach all people. Because yeah, I've never taught a little person to dance before in one of my classes, but my routines are adaptable and we can do all this stuff. It's great. Beginners, professionals, advanced people, any sort of skill level, I'm able to make those adjustments because I'm a pretty awesome teacher. And then it's like when they're going through some of these routine movements where Bryce is supposed to spin Liz, her arms are they're not going in the right direction for things, but then nobody can figure out how to explain this. Because then the teacher's just like, oh, and she steps in and then does the move with Bryce. And it's like, yeah, you just do it like that. Liz does not know what you're doing. Liz doesn't know how to do that.
Well, so that's the problem.
There's no instruction.
The instructor thinks that she's teaching them both, but Liz has decided that she knows how to dance and Bryce doesn't.
Oh, but Liz doesn't know. I'm sorry, guys. Liz doesn't know how to dance.
No, she doesn't.
And if she doesn't know that, she needs to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to learn that today. But she's not, because she's blaming every single thing that's going wrong with the dance. It's Bryce's fault.
The more and more frustrated she gets, the more she starts making jabs at him about how everything that's going wrong is because of him.
And then did you hear it? Because she was talking about when she was blaming Bryce for messing things up. Then they cut away to them arguing in their ISO interview at the studio too, where she's criticizing him, continuing to criticize him about how, well, you don't like to be criticized. You just don't know how to take criticism. Where have we heard that before on this series? Do you remember? Because it flashed back in my head. Can you think back to a time kind of related to Liz? Liz was involved in the scene.
When Liz and Trent were Trent was trying to teach Liz how to drive.
That is exactly the circumstance that came up. That is what Trent was yelling at Liz when she wasn't taking criticism well.
Mm-hmm. Or direction
or anything.
Yeah.
And they were not getting along at all. And I was like, oh no, she internalized it. And here it is. Here it is. She's doing it to Bryce.
To another person.
Yes, she's just unleashing it now of this was a shortcoming that I had that my dad yelled at me when I was trying to learn how to drive, and I still haven't recovered from that. So guess what? Now I'm going to put that out on you. Yeah. You just don't take criticism well. And that's what you're struggling with today. We got to build up that confidence. That's what's going on.
That made me cringe too when she said it to the instructor about how he's just nervous about having to dance and then tell him that he doesn't have enough confidence.
Yeah, my partner needs to build up his confidence. What? I think you need to learn a couple of basic dance step moves so then that way we know what we're working with here.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she was able to take even basic instruction because if you don't know, you don't have a base knowledge or understanding of dancing. You're just trying to look at somebody else doing something and then replicate that. That's not going to work in this way, especially to learn at the speed that you're trying to learn. I don't think that's going to go like that.
I don't get how he's letting her speak to him like that because I would be gone so quickly.
Well, he was trying to combat. He's like, if you might notice, some of those things were off because you weren't doing them correctly.
He was like, you're messing up too.
You're messing up.
So it's not just me. Why are you trying to make it sound like I'm the reason that we can't get through the whole dance?
Because if it's not Bryce's fault, then it's Liz's fault. And Liz really doesn't like that.
Yeah.
She's really not comfortable with that. So instead of taking it as a moment where it's like,
we're both not good at this.
We're both really bad at this. And laughing about it or like bonding in that of like, what are we doing? What are we even doing with this? Maybe we don't do this for our wedding. Like that could be a suggestion as a takeaway of, hey, we tried it. Did you have fun? Because I didn't really have fun.
Or maybe we choose like a very short song and we don't dance for too long and we keep things very basic.
Do you know that song Tequila? Maybe we could work an arrangement to that or something. Perhaps.
Isn't that song long?
It's instrumental. It's a good karaoke song though, if you're trying to go that route. I
don't think Bryce wants to be up there that long.
I don't think he wants to be. So even when the instructor is trying to come over and help with this, it's just bickering. It's not a connecting point.
Awkward to see her try to break in the middle of the fighting and be like, this is how you are supposed to be doing this. And then back away quickly.
Well, I loved how it was like, give instruction, they do it wrong, and then try to correct the instruction. They do it wrong again, but in a different way. And so then the instructor's like, am I doing it right? Like the instructor is confused.
Questioning herself.
How did you guys mess it up like that? I don't know. So here, let me try. I have to do it now because I think I forgot the move.
Maybe Bryce should just do a break dance.
Maybe Bryce.
Like on 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Maybe Bryce can dance with me, and then, that's what we could do instead. And then you can dance with another instructor. I don't think you guys should be dancing, is what I'm getting at here. Not together. Definitely not.
I think maybe it's revealing of some issues in their relationship.
a little bit.
There is only one person who's trying to make all of this wedding planning be a positive and enjoyable thing for Bryce, and that is Jonah.
Didn't expect that. Yeah, of like where... Of the wedding planning that's going on, Jonah is very mindful of Bryce. What's going to make you happy on your wedding day? I want this to be a really good experience for you because don't let Liz make this be all about her. Mm-hmm. You got to have some input here too, man.
I thought that Jonah was just really worried about if the drinks were going to be good. But
that's
now...
a little part of it.
it's a part of it.
I mean, that's there's an element of that, of consideration, probably, of just, hey, I don't want to just drink Miller beer here. Like, come on,
I
man.
think he's seen an opportunity, though, to carve out a part of the wedding that Bryce can actually select things for, and Liz won't lose her shit.
Yeah, because she's not as attached to this part of the menu anyway.
Well, and there's going to be multiple drinks.
Yeah.
So, can Bryce pick one?
I guess. Yeah. His pick originally was just beer. So let's spice that up a little bit. Let's kind of zhuzh it up.
New horizons for him when it comes to cocktails.
Elevate it. It's a wedding. Yeah, we gotta lift this up and make it into something a little more spectacular than you normally would. It's not just something that you're gonna come drink after work,
I want to go to a party hosted by Jonah. Between smoking meat and then these cocktails,
among other things. Yeah, perhaps, maybe, but I don't know. Like,
I don't want to be entertained by him, but I think he will feed you well and make sure that you go home a little tipsy.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if we're enjoying Jonah this season because we're not seeing him interact with Anna. Like, I think that has been a real rough point for me.
Yeah.
In previous seasons.
And there's not a lot of him and Ashley either.
That has been noticeable as well. I mean, she was at LP conference and stuff.
But it was her and Emma most of the time hanging out together.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's it.
I think it's just, I'm finding it endearing that he's trying to make this a good experience for Bryce, or is the only one concerned about the wedding having any elements that Bryce wants to have.
Yeah. So we're trying a couple different ones, but I think here's where Jonah messed up. He's making these drinks as we go. He didn't
mix them all.
He didn't make all of these drinks and then say, here, let's go down the line and pick one of these. Sipping drink. So we've learned with Bryce finishes his drinks. We learned this at the wine tasting at the LP conference this year, where he does not dump in the bucket. He goes down the hatch with everything.
I think Jonah should have made the one drink, let him see what it looked like in the glass, and then pour them into shot glasses so that everybody could try a little bit.
It might taste different in a shot glass if you're going to do like a shot.
No, drink it, sip it slowly. I don't know. I'm worried about Bryce because the way he downed those drinks.
Well, here's the problem. When you have the first drink and you down that puppy and it's gone, it was an old fashioned is what this was.
But then the Missing Canoe.
The Missing Canoe. They're coming up with fun names for them too here that are Bryce's hunting and fishing interests. And so what is this? Bourbon, maple syrup, bitters, lemon juice, and orange twist. So Bryce likes it, the complexity of it. He's very intrigued by this. It's a little sweet. It's a little sour. It's a little bit of everything.
He's also really not that picky because he drinks a lot of everything that Jonah mixes.
Yes. And so, yeah, he finishes that drink, and then we're waiting for Jonah to make the next drink, which they go through a couple different things, which is like a gin twist, catch and release, which was like an Aperol spritz sort of a thing. And then they're just kind of working through these different mixed drinks, but it's Jonah quickly putting these together and then having him try them and then rank them. But nothing seems to be outdoing that first sip of the Missing Canoe.
The first whole glass of the Missing Canoe.
So is it just we maybe had some of our senses dulled for the other tests that happened?
I did wonder. I was like, the drunker we got, are we really processing the full experience? Are we tasting everything fully now?
But also the inverse could be true, because it's like it could just be then everything you drink after that is, that's great. Yeah, this is really
right.
good, but you might not really like it. When you go to drink it again, it's not your second or third drink by that point.
Nothing compared to that first one. So that's what he picks for the wedding.
So that's what he's going to go with, the Missing Canoe. And that is the pick. And I think he's not going to be able to drive home tonight though, because he has polished off like 3 or 4 mixed beverages here and he's feeling it now. So he's going to have to spend the night.
I think he got sick later that night.
Maybe.
And he's like, man, you're doing really good at this, Jonah. How about you help me come up with an idea for the garter toss?
I was able to trick Liz into doing a camo garter, though. So that is something that I was able to have my input on. I got to think about a creative way to do the garter toss, though. So there's that element of it. And Jonah's like, man, you should cast that thing like you're fly fishing. You should totally bring out a fishing pole and just send that thing flying through the air. And Bryce is like, I don't know why I even try to plan stuff with Liz. I need to just
He wants to plan this wedding with Jonah.
Maybe we should get married.
Maybe. I think they'd both really enjoy the wedding.
I think they would have a great wedding. Because you know why? Because it's yes and. It's I have an idea for this. Here, I've introduced a camo element to the garter. And Jonah says, that's awesome, man, because that's right up your alley. Here's another way we can incorporate something that you like into the garter toss as well. Because if she gave you an inch on going camo with the garter, we're going to take it a mile and we're going to throw that thing with a fishing pole. That's what we're going to do.
I hope they actually do this.
I hope so too, because man, canceling the vest, still criminal at this point. Mm-hmm. Unforgivable, I would say. Bryce still seemed very upset about it on their ISO interviews.
As he should be.
As he should be. Yes, I would be very distraught.
This reminded me of when Janelle wanted to bring the fishing pole to Maddie's wedding.
You're not going to have time. There's going to be so many other things to do. No.
I hope
matter.
Liz doesn't sink her claws into this or he'll never get to do it.
That doesn't matter. Did Bryce love the fishing pole idea, or was he just a little tipsy and this sounded like the best thing ever?
The idea that he would actually be allowed to do it, I think, is the part where the drinks had influenced the excitement.
Okay, yeah.
Because we have to get everything Liz approved before we get excited about it.
Right. Yeah. He's made that mistake. He got too excited about the vest.
Can't get attached to the idea.
He showed that, yes, I have an interest in this and I would really enjoy that. And Liz was like, yeah, that's why we need to cut that out. That's why that's not going to happen. So just so we're all on the same page. That's what's going on.
Next episode, Trent gets attached to these chickens. He's starting to care for them. They've become his responsibility. Even though he has a lot to do for the wedding, we're a month out from this wedding happening, and he really has not even scratched the surface of the projects that he has to get done.
Doesn't seem like it. Yeah. Is this what all of the wood that he was supposed to do for whatever platform or arches or whatever he was supposed to be building? Is that what this has ended up being?
He used it for the chicken coop?
He's chicken cooping now is what's happening?
He's got to go back to the lumberyard.
Whatever.
Start all over again.
Whatever was going on, whatever he was bringing out, he was pulling it with a tractor. It's probably a huge chicken coop is all I can assume at this point. I have no idea what he's bringing out, what the big reveal is. But yeah, hopefully for the chickens, it's going to be a little bit more adequate coverage.
Where are they going during the wedding?
I don't
Are they attending?
know. I don't know. I have no idea.
And then Liz's dress has come in and the seamstress is starting to work on it, but it seems like she's struggling with the alterations.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, cut this stuff or cut here and sew this. And they're getting a little prescriptive with it. And the tailor's even like, that's not a good idea. I don't like that.
I'm not cutting that.
I don't want to be doing all that.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah. If the tailor's saying no, then I think you should listen. Because if you're in a time crunch, there's no backup dress, and this is your only option. So you got to be careful with this thing.
If you're looking for more Little Johnstons content, we just dropped a deep dive over on Patreon called Lil Con Big Markups Inside Emma's Rings and Things.
Lil Condo's Big Markups.
It's all about Emma's online shop. We looked at all of the items in there.
Well, we went through, it was the rings in the things. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The things are a little more puzzling.
Ended up with a whole popcorn bucket debate, too, so you don't want to miss that, I guess. People were very enthralled by that.
Revealed where some of these items may have originally come from.
I didn't realize how invested I was in that conversation until we got there.
So that's over on Patreon. You can sign up as a member, or you can purchase that individually now. If you're just interested in that episode.
Also, so that's what's going on the Patreon. If you're subscribed here on Surviving Reality 2, you're getting the 7 Little Johnstons recaps. You're also getting the Welcome to Plathville recaps. You don't want to miss those. If you haven't checked them out already, it's just more crazy TLC Tuesday night shows. Mm-hmm. Narcissistic parenting and toxic family systems on display. So Toxic Family Tuesday is raging on. You don't want to miss those episodes too.
And our other podcast, Surviving Sister Wives, we're currently reading through Almost Married, which is the book written by Mary Brown's Catfish.
Wrapping that up, actually. We're getting very close to the end, and then I think we'll be maybe doing a little bit of rehashes in the interim once that wraps up, and then we'll switch over to Big Love. We're going to be recapping that from the start. I haven't seen an episode of that so long, maybe 10 years probably, since we tried to watch it.
Yeah, I tried to watch it, I think, one time.
Yeah.
And watched a few episodes.
Watched
and
one
then,
or two, and didn't really get in, didn't really hit. But I wasn't watching Sister Wives at that point. So
that's happened to us a lot with other shows, though.
Sometimes
we
it takes
started
a couple.
Sopranos and then had to come back to it. That happened with
Game of
Breaking
Thrones.
Bad.
Yeah.
So
it's been a couple different shows where it's sometimes it's a false start and then we really get in there. So we're going to give this one a shot. We're going to try it again.
And as always, if you're enjoying what you're listening to, please leave us a review. Share the episode with someone who is also watching Seven Little Johnstons or should be.
Should be, yeah. Get them on board, but get the word out too, yeah. Podcast recap, full episode by episode here on Surviving Reality.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.